Hey guys, coming back to you with the second part of the Empire State Building and how it relates to finding your heart. I'm up here inside of my, my kitchen, inside of my house, and just basically chilling out. And wanted to make the video here from my iPhone. So here goes. Hope you're doing wonderful. And one thing you should know about me is I love variety. Love, 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 love variety. So that's one of the reasons that I'm up here inside of the living room. Plus, I'm enjoying time with the angels. The angels are very strong here right now. No doubt. So I hope and pray that you feel the angels. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, well, to continue the story, we had talked about yesterday as far as how you know where you belong. And specifically, we talked about it exhilarating, your heart. And we talked about as far as going into my story of going into New York City and so forth. I think the best part to continue with what we're talking about is a little bit more of what I mean by exhilarating your heart. We'd already talked about me being excited and so forth, but I want to give you some examples. So, once we get into New York City, and we stayed at the Holiday Inn on, it's like 57th and something like that, or 57, I think it's 57th Street, and not too far from Times Square now. But at any rate, we get in there, and I'm telling you, I loved it. I loved going to the hotels, case in point, Empire State Building Hotel, hello. I just love hotels. So remember that one of the reasons that we're talking about this is finding out what exhilarates your heart. What is it that really gets you passionate and excited and exhilarated and makes you think and makes you get up? What is it that makes you get up each morning? Why do you want to get up each morning? These are things to start thinking about inside of your mind, and then, in your heart, bringing your mind and your heart together. That's a huge key in understanding on where you fit. But anyway, so I get in there and I just love the hotel. I just love it. I'm enamored by all of the different things, and you got to understand. I think personally myself that usually when the Lord calls you to whatever He's called you to, it seems like it's just the opposite of the way that you were raised. Pretty much. I mean, most people, it seems like they've been raised a certain way and so forth, and they really didn't like it for whatever reason. And it seems like the Lord just really wants to bless them as they move forward in their lives. That's just my 2 cents. But I know that's the case with me. I was raised in a very, very, very poor home. Very poor home. And we could barely afford putting food on the table, and so forth. And I came from a divorced family, and just poor. And even talking to my dad recently, he's the type that he's okay with being poor. I mean, it's no big deal. He actually loves being poor. It's no big deal. Me, nada, no, 9. That's just that resonates in my heart. That's one of the things too I want to throw in here is the beauty of what wealth is and a creation from the Lord. Some people got these weird ideas about wealth and stuff, and you know what? God puts desires within your heart to cause your heart to come alive. And He knows that there's certain things. I'll give you a case in point. Some people get excited about sports. Nope, not me. Some people get excited about outside and being outdoorsy all the time. I mean, all the time. Nope, not me. Do I like being outdoorsy? Yeah, to some degree. I enjoy nature, and so forth. But the reason I'm saying this is think of it how you would respond. Different things. We're all created different. We're all created with diverse knowledge, diverse understanding, diverse interest. I can't say that word, but anyway, I'll let you say it. Interest. I can't say it. Anyway, we are created different. All of us are created different, with different talents and different hearts and different passions and different likes, and so forth. And I personally believe that those different likes and passions, as long as they don't contradict, God's nature and who He is and His Word and His Spirit and so forth, as long as they don't contradict that, I venture to say that He put them in you, and that's the way He is. He's a very, very, very creative God. Well, anyway, going back to the story here, hope that helped a little bit there and understanding a little bit more. But so I get in the hotel at Holiday Inn, and I was just like, oh, I was just like looking all over, and taking in everything, the receptionist desk and the pool, and well, actually, the pool of all things was up on the very top of the building. It was like 18 or 20 stories high, and I'd never been that high before. And I get up there, and I was like, I was kind of trepidatious, kind of fearful and stuff. But I was like, whoa, this is pretty wild. And there was a big, huge fence, around the top so make sure nobody could hurt themselves. And then I remember seeing a Coke. I mean, I'm from North Carolina, so a pop up here in Minnesota was a Coke down in North Carolina. And, it's like if you're going to get a pop, you call it Coke, And so a Coke inside of New York, at that time, I think it was $3.25. I think it was $3.25, and that was back when it was like 75 cents a can, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. So just all these things, that's one of the things I love New York City. And see, the Lord knew that too. He knew that the things that I love are, I love things that are unpredictable. I love things that have variety, that have pizzazz, that have life, that have energy to them, and so forth. That's one of the reasons I love business so much, because it's never the same. I mean, it's similar on some days, but then you've got this challenge or this issue or this thing that's come up and so forth. And I love that. I feed off of that. I mean, that's my personality. That's who I am. And it gets me going. It gets me jazzed. And so anyway, in regards to New York City, that's the way New York City is. I mean, talk to people who live there. They tell you every single day there's so much energy inside that city and so much diversity and so many different cultures and so forth, different ways of thinking and all this stuff, that there's never a dull moment within New York City. And there's a reason that it says, what does it say? The city that never sleeps. And they're not kidding. But anyway, so the Lord knew that, and He knew that I could really enjoy what I saw, and I was just taking it all in. So it wasn't just the hotel. Then we went out, and we went to like this bookstore, and it was just like huge and massive, and it was like I don't know, some type of main chain or something like that. But it's just all the designs and how it's designed in the glass inside of the skyscraper, and all the different books that were listed, and seas, like seas of books and kiosk and all this stuff, and I was just in different levels, and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Then we walk outside, and I see all the people, and they're walking, and walking fast, and then we find out that we just passed a movie star. Just, I was a 10-year-old or 11-year-old, whatever it was, and I was just like, oh, this is incredible. Listen, the reason I share all that is what you have to look for. You have to think in your mind. You have to get in your heart, and you have to say, what is it that truly not just gets you excited, but really gets you excited? It's almost the point. It's like that you are somebody deep down inside of you, but that depth is not realized until you're like in this environment, a certain place, a certain thought, a certain smell, a certain taste, related to your history and your background and so forth, and so forth. And so that starts resonating within you. It starts pulsating through you, through your mind and through your spirit and through your body even, and so forth. And, I'll tell you a little bit about the tragedies that can happen when you decide, to not go towards your calling or your destiny. And we could talk about that more tomorrow. So why don't we do that? We'll talk about that tomorrow. And I'll give some personal testimony on that. Because I tell you what, when you start going in the different direction, there's a number of things that can happen inside of your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit, and everything that just goes, everything goes nuts. So, but tell you what, when you start finding out who you are and what you're created for and where you belong and so forth, oh, there's nothing like it. It is icing on the cake, no doubt. So, at any rate, it is 9:40 on my little iPhone here. I really appreciate your time. I look forward to tomorrow, and we'll see where we pick up. There's another reason, too, that I'm doing this on the mobile deal right now, is because I think I'm going to be mobile. See, there's another thing. I love mobility. I love it, love it, love it. I love travel and different things and and going different places and so forth. And the Lord knew that, and He knew how to exhilarate my heart, and He knows how to exhilarate your heart. Believe you me. So that should about do it. I do want to give a little tidbit here about the Empire State Building, just really quick to let you know where we're at. You know that there's going to be an IPO. They're talking about the owners being an IPO for the Empire State Building coming up in November. But guess what, people? There's a caveat to it. A caveat. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Very interesting caveat that I just found out. I have posted it on Facebook, so if you want to cheat and check it out, you can. But anyway, we'll talk about the caveat tomorrow, and then also what can happen inside of your body and your mind, your spirit, and so forth when you're not going in the direction you're supposed to, and then what happens when you are going in the right direction. Sayonara, guys. God bless you. I appreciate your time, and shalom.